What's going on? We back, Goodfella Sports TV. One time for the one time, Mr. One time for the one time. Your boy CJ Goodfella. Final thoughts: Tony Bellew, Oleksandr Usyk, cruiserweight undisputed on the line. Cruiserweight champion Oleksandr Usyk is taking on Tony Bellew. And you know how we do the final thoughts. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, please smash the subscribe button. And we talk a lot of different sports here: NFL, NBA, golf, tennis sometimes. Music entertainment. We do retro hoop series, throwback boxing series as well. So y'all be on the lookout for some more of that content this weekend. We starting up some of the hood series and throwback content as well. But yeah, the final thoughts goes, we kind of react to the weigh-in a little bit, and then we just give our final 2 cents on the fight and everything that built up this week since we did the prediction video. I'll link the prediction video in the description so you can watch it entirely. And again, I'll give you my pick, but it'll be most likely different from the prediction video. Prediction video is more of a technical breakdown than the final thoughts. But both guys make weight. You know, I think under the 200-pound weight limit. Oleksandr Usyk came in at 198.25 pounds. Tony Bellew came in at 199.3 pounds. Okay, so both made weight. You know, one thing I gotta say is Tony Bellew looked a lot more natural at cruiserweight. He looks like a natural cruiserweight. He looks very, very good. He looks a little bit skinny here, but you see the front screenshot. He looks a lot more healthier at heavyweight. He looked ballooned up. He looked a little bit fat in the midsection. Looks a little bit more tighter, more natural here. Usyk is still always going to be in unbelievable shape. His shape is very, very indicative of his stamina. His stamina is crazy. Everybody knows Usyk has crazy stamina. And we see what Bellew brings to the table. Guys like Andre Ward this week picked Tony Bellew because he says he don't know how much of a beast Usyk is. We haven't seen that out of him yet. A lot of people are pulling for Tony Bellew. Johnny Nelson had the quote of the week, I think, so far, saying that, or was it last week, saying that Tony Bellew is more technical than Oleksandr Usyk. So I don't think most people agree with that, but you know, it is what it is. You know, and I think when he says technical, I think he means more of fundamentally sound. Bellew is more orthodox. Usyk is not as orthodox as you think. He does a lot of things unorthodox and relies on his movement, his bend at the knees, and his foot movement. So from that standpoint, I can understand what he's saying. But Tony Bellew drops his hands a lot too. But it is what it is. I don't really agree with the statement, but I can kind of see his point of view and step back and try to look at it from a neutral standpoint. You know, both made weight. This is a huge show for Eddie Hearn over there. It's a huge show for Tony Bellew. This could be his last hurrah into the sunset. Or I believe Andre Ward pulling for Tony Bellew to win. I think he wants Bellew to win so he can fight Bellew for undisputed. I really don't think he wants to fight Oleksandr Usyk because Usyk, for one, is a dangerous fighter. But the risk versus reward ain't as great. You beat Tony Bellew in the UK, you got a buzz over there. You beat Usyk, where you gonna be Usyk at? You know, Usyk name is not respected anywhere that matters in the UK or North America because he's not popular. You know, he's not popular at all. He don't have a brand. So you want to beat somebody that got a brand somewhere and get a new fan, you know, population, you know, over in the UK. You know, and I think Usyk presents tougher fight for Andre Ward as well, you know. So you want a tougher fight and less reward, or you want a less tougher fight and more reward. So I think if Bellew wins, I think Andre Ward's gonna come out of retirement and fight Tony Bellew. I truly do believe that. If Usyk wins, I don't think so much. But he said he can beat Usyk, you know, and he probably could beat Usyk. But you know, I favor Usyk, the cruiserweight undisputed champion, versus a guy who started off at middleweight, that's at super middleweight, then went to light heavyweight, now coming to cruiserweight after being retired. It's obviously that Andre Ward is itching to return, but with this fight, it's basically Tony Bellew. And the one thing I like about him, I mentioned in the prediction video, is his intangibles. You know, his IQ. He knows that he can't outbox Oleksandr Usyk. He knows he has to make it a dogfight. He knows he has to press the attack. And I think I would have gave him a better chance to win if it was at heavyweight, just knowing that he's familiar with the weight. He would have an advantage at the weight. I know Usyk has fought at heavyweight before in the World Series of Boxing, whatever they call it, little pro-am thing they got. But he's going to press the attack. You know, let that right hand go. You know, the left hook is going to be important for him as well. You got to let that right hand go. I think, you know, a lot of people say the left hook is the punch for Tony Bellew. I think it's the right hand, you know, that he dropped David Haye with. At least the second time I believe it was. The right hand is going to be the ticket. You fighting the southpaw. I like the left hook, right hand combination, like I said in the prediction video. But the right hand is going to be the ticket. And Usyk doesn't always sit down on his left hand. He changes the speed on it, which is smart. But he does a lot of pity-pat arm punches as well. So Usyk is going to have to get Tony Bellew's respect as well. It's kind of like a trial run going up to heavyweight. He's going to try to, you know, change his style to be formidable at heavyweight. But if you come up to heavyweight with the same pity-pat punching style, you know, a lot of heavyweights is going to walk through him. You know, they're going to erase angles and try to beat him up to the body and to the head, and he's going to be vulnerable. So, like I said in the prediction video, it's gonna be a battle of ranges or battle of territory here. It's gonna have to be, if it's in the middle of the ring, Usyk is gonna dominate this fight. If it's on the ropes, Tony Bellew should be dominating this fight. You know, Usyk loves to put the earmuffs on when his opponent is attacking. He tries to wait for you done attacking, reset, get it back in the middle of the ring, pity pat. You know, step over, bend, you know, make you miss, pity pat. His rhythmic and his foot movement, it will carries him. Okay, not so much of his head movement. It's just been at the knees. And Tony Bellew, you gotta understand that he gonna have to try to time and punch with him. And when he punch with him, he put them earmuffs on. He got to push him to the ropes, give him the cold shoulder, put the shoulder in his chest, and start working him on the ropes and keep it there, and not allow him to tie up and keep that distance. If Bellew can keep him on the ropes and land that big right hand, he can win. But if they're in the middle of the ring and Bellew is trying to get it to the ropes and try to make it a dog fight, he had to punch with the straight right hand. You know, it may be a left hook to distract him, a throwaway left hook, big right hand down the middle, and punch in between those pity pat arm punches from Oleksandr Usyk. He can score that big right hand, then get him to the ropes, chopping over the hand right, work him on the ropes, keep him on the ropes. Don't allow the smaller guy or the physically less stronger guy. Never know, Usyk might be stronger, to push him to the ropes. But like I said, Tony Bellew looks amazing at cruiserweight compared to when he looked at heavyweight. Okay, some body shots in there as well too. Let me say that he needs to do some body shots in there as well too. But looks better. But he knows what he got to do. He knows his limitations. He knows he can't outbox this guy, and that's a great attribute to have, a great intangible to have. Knowing, you know, what your truth is, and not to step outside your truth. Knowing that you're not gonna come in here and outbox an Olympic gold medalist. Knowing that you got to knock him out. Knowing you got 12 rounds to do it. Knowing that you probably the physically bigger, stronger guy come fight night. And that gives him a shot. I think a better shot than I recently gave him in the last coming weeks. You know, anybody that's smart enough to know not to fight without their means, without their skill level, he knows to stay within that. That's gonna give him a great opportunity to score the knockout that he needs to. If it goes to decision, obviously we know Oleksandr Usyk is going to win this fight. If it's a knockout, most people believe it be Tony Bellew. People expect to see knockdowns and all that. I don't know. I thought that Usyk would be able to score a knockdown because Tony Bellew was going to have to struggle to make cruiserweight. It don't look like he really struggled none. He looked pretty good here. But come fight night, if you see him come out with no sweat on his body, coming to the ring, he cold, he dry. That means he might have had some trouble making weight. If he come out there, he perspirate, he sweats hard. That's what I mean. Early on, he come in the ring, wet and sweaty. That means he in good shape. You know, if he sweats early on too and get a sweat going, that means he didn't really have too much problems rehydrating and making weight. So that's something to look at. Obviously, I picked Usyk to win by like 3 points, unanimous decision. But closer to the fight, a lot of people were talking about Bellew. I think Usyk handles business. He's too good of a fighter, but he does have a lot of holes in his game as far as, that Tony Bellew can expose. So we'll see if Bellew can expose the holes. I don't believe so. I believe Usyk wins by 3 points. I think it's going to be a good fight. I tune in. I may go live. Salute to all the brothers and sisters supporting the channel. Usyk, unanimous decision, I think by 3 points at least. You can follow us on Facebook or Twitter. The link's in the description. Also, you can email me as well. That information is in the description as well, excuse me. Also, instrumentals. If you're interested in instrumentals in our intro videos, we have 2 different intros. That link's in the description. If you want to make a donation, that link's in the description as well. Salute, salute. Goodfellas Sports TV. We gone.